Was the decision to leave ESPN, was that mostly Dan's decision, or were you part of those conversations?
Very good question, Brandon. Was that Dan's? No, it was Dan's decision. I mean, listen, when they let Chris Cody go, anyone who knows Dan, Greg is his best friend. I mean, it's certainly not me. Greg Cody is his best friend. That's why he's on every Tuesday. Why else would we put that lunatic on? I'm joking. I love him. We love him. Our audience loves him. He fits our show perfectly. I want to say Dan might be the godfather of Chris Cody. I'm not 100% sure on that, okay? But I know they're very close.
Yeah.
So when they let Chris Cody go, ESPN did. I think everyone on our show had an idea what was coming next. So whether or not I spoke to him doesn't really matter. I kind of saw where it was going. And so, yeah, that decision mostly came from Le Batard.
And were you comfortable with that decision? Did you have faith in the decision to leave a brand as big as ESPN?
There was an excitement of not knowing what was on the other side. But I was nervous. Like, I really enjoyed being at ESPN. I've talked about this with Dan. Like, I really enjoyed being there. For me, when I got into the business, it was WFAN or ESPN. Like, that was the goal for me. And I got to ESPN. We got to ESPN. We got there together. And I'm not an idiot. I don't get there without Dan. So,
yeah.
And I realized that. I would have liked, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I could have stayed at ESPN for the rest of my life. So I was nervous, and I felt like I was growing at ESPN, and some good things were happening. So I was nervous only because I wasn't armed with the information that Dan was armed with. So I was definitely nervous. But the nervousness and the not knowing what was next kind of, once I got past not being at ESPN, it got me excited. Like, okay, what's going to be next? Dan wouldn't do this unless, we had a plan and all that. I would have liked to have been more involved in those conversations. I wasn't, but we've moved on,